Sit down straight, take a very deep breath, once or twice. Slow inhalation, exhalation. Just close your eyes, please. Just keep your eyes closed. As you close your eyes and be conscious, conceive for yourself how effortless it is to be yourself. In case it so happens you need a thought to remind yourself, you can always pick up an idea, a verse, to dwell on yourself, learning to use a word, a thought, a verse, an idea as a reminder just as the squirrel at a distance. You listen to that sound, chick, chick goes on. The sound reminds you the squirrel. The sound is not squirrel. The sound of the squirrel listen to that sound, it reminds you of the tiny animal, the squirrel. The descriptions you pick up about yourself is not the self, it's a reminder. Like we saw yesterday. Na tadbhasayate surya, na shashanko, na pavaka, yadigatva na nivartante, tadhama paramam mama. Where the sun doesn't shine, the sun cannot illumine the consciousness. Na shashanka, neither the moon shines, na pavaka, neither the fire. It must remind you of yourself. The sun, moon, fire, none of these external sources of light have any access. And knowing which, yadigatva na nivartante. Going where, knowing which, there shall be no return again to the land of mortality, realm of changes. And that indeed, tadhama paramam mama, that is my supreme abode. You see for yourself. And consciously pick up an idea to be with what it attempts to describe. Then the words drop out. Ideas fade. The sound of the peacock reminds you of the bird. The sound is not the bird. The description of yourself is not you. So consciously, if you need, pick up an idea, a verse, as a reminder. If you don't need it, it doesn't matter. Your being who you are, independent of any thought or idea. Just see it for yourself. Stunnandidivaistave Vedeshangapadakramopanishade Gayantiyam Samaga Dhyanavastitadgatena Manasa Shantiyam Yoginaha Shantam Navidusura Suragana Devaya Tasmai Namah. Sometimes you should do that as you have been going through these verses. You pick it up and consciously go through the meaning of these verses, where you are the meaning. It is your description. It is not Bhagavad Gita. It is not some text. Don't lose yourself in a text. It is your description. Anytime it talks about Kshetra, Kshetrajna, Purusha, Prakriti, Para Prakriti, Apara Prakriti, the relative, the absolute, it's all our description. So you sometimes sit down consciously, be that, because unconsciously it has been a huge habit to identify with one little body affected by hunger, pain, little pleasures, sensations of all kinds. So very consciously you see as to who you are. So these verses are just lovely reminders. You pick it up. That is why once in a while, just to go through the verses, Swadhyaya, you read it by yourself, so that's Swadhyaya, you study yourself. Understand that Swadhyaya is a beautiful word. Swa-adhyaya, studying yourself. Studying yourself does not mean reading the book by yourself. That also can mean that. But you read that book, that verses, to remind you of yourself, so that you study yourself, who you are. More and more you are thus with yourself, these descriptions become more and more meaningful. Then it becomes a very pleasurable, call it meaningful. You will have enthusiasm to read these verses, or else it will be some scholastic idea hunting. So you are tired of this verse, that verse. If something remind you of yourself, how interesting it becomes. Think, why do you have in a normal human relationship, somebody gives you a ring, somebody gives you a gift. It reminds you of somebody whom you like. If you like the person, you like the gift. If you like yourself, you shall like the gift. each verse is so beautiful. Why? It describes of me, where the sun never shines, moon never shines, the fire has no access, no entrance, going where there is no return. Once happy, you shall never be unhappy again. Once free, you shall never be bound again. And that is my supreme abode, Paramam Dhamam, Param Dham, supreme abode. Wherefrom there is no return. I love to be in that dwelling place of mine, which is always there. Therefore, you don't feel homeless in life, helpless in life, because you are always settled in yourself. Your house can be demolished, your land can be snatched away, your money can be confiscated, your power you can be deprived of, your body shall die. Your thoughts may fade, but who you are, untouched, untouchable. That is where comes your supreme confidence. My abode, my sanctuary, my being, who I am, nobody can invade, nobody can touch, nobody can deprive me of. You can deprive me of food, but not satisfaction. You can take away all the riches. My happiness, my contentment is myself. No force can deny it. So if the verses remind you of such a loving, powerful self that you are, how much enthusiasm will be there to look at those verses, to dwell on those verses. Just like when you see something, a gift which reminds you of somebody or something which you really like. So that little something becomes so precious. So the books, the verses become so precious as it reminds you of yourself. Yet, when the ring is there and the person is there, which one you shall embrace? The ring or the person? The gift is there and the person is there. Which one you shall like to be with? The gift or the person? The verses are there and you are there. Which one you shall hold on to? Understand? Yourself. Yet the verses are so beautiful. Pick it up, okay? I am saying all this, so that you don't lose yourself in the verses. Because scholarship is another heady wine. To be informed, to be able to quote from here, there, everywhere, to stun people with stolen ideas is very exciting. It's not yours, stolen ideas. Just like you steal somebody's marriage gift or a ring. For you it is just a piece of stone, a diamond to be sold. You don't have the emotions of the lover. You can steal somebody's idea and stun people for some time, but you don't have the heart. That is what today you see in all over internet, everywhere, stolen ideas, passing it as their own. No originality. Please. You see for yourself. Consciously pick up a verse, whichever one you like. So, read that. It's so nice. And now you have got it by heart. And this idea is how sweet, you see. Suppose there is a gift only one man can have. It's a diamond or a gold or a I got this lovely flower today again from that place. Suppose I want to give. How many people I can give one flower? Only one person. The others are miserable. Huh? Whereas this gift, all the 5 billion people can read. Still it is for others also available. It's no exclusive. Anybody wants to pick up this idea, pick it. Why? It's about yourself. It's all about ourselves. A scripture which fits into only one cap is not a scripture. Understand? Exclusive idea. Only if you follower of that, it is good for you. Here you can be just anybody. Yourself is not a fixed role. Yourself is not a fixed idea. Limited, parochial. Description or idea of some sort. This is something yours, universal. Everybody can sing that song. It is everybody's song. Bhagavad Gita, the song of God, belongs to everybody. It is your song, my song, everybody's song. All of us can say that. Natat vasayate surya, nasashanko napavaka. Everybody can pick it, everybody can see it for himself. Why? Because everybody is an inseparable part of the same infinity existence. Read it. Natad bhasayate suryaha nasashanko napavakaha yadgatva nanivartante taddhama paramam mama mamaivanso jivaloke jivabhutas sanatanaha manashashtanindriyani prakritisthani karshati shariram yadavapnoti yachapyutkramati ishvaraha gruhitvaitani samyati vayurgandhani vasayat. Nice, so beautiful. Understand that? So, Bhagavan now reveals that truth, that when you cut this samsara vruksha, it's a vruksha, okay, that word vruksha, vruksha in Sanskrit, why do you call it vruksha? The word has a etymology, has a meaning. Vraschanat vruksha. Vraschanat means that which can be cut down. Vraschanat vruksha, that which can be cut down. Samsara vruksha, this tree of samsara, is a tree because it can be ultimately cut down. Asanga sastrena drudhena chitva. Cutting down means rendering it ineffective. Previously, understand, I had a thirst for the object. I had a craving for the object. So the object seemingly had a hold over me. People blame the creation, samsara, because they don't understand that they are thirsting for the creation. When you are craving for the creation, when you are thirsting for the creation, when you are crazy about an object, that object shall be the ruler, you shall be the slave. When your craving stops, the world loses its hold. What does it mean? At no time world had ever a hold on you. You empowered the object to make you a slave. Now you withdraw the power, the object is object. The object is not a master or a slave, understand. You enslaved yourself. You freed yourself. That is why asanga sastrena drudena chitva. By asanga sastra, the moment you are asanga, you don't have a dependence, the tree need not be caught. Are you getting that point, please? When you don't have the dependence, the objects need not be thrown. Are you getting that? Only if you have a dependence, the objects must be hidden. Like a child is crying for the toy. And you know, whenever the child sees this toy, you will cry. So what do? Keep it hiding, keep it hidden. So the fellow doesn't see it. If he sees it, he will cry. So you keep it hiding. Now the same fellow, at that time he was 5-year-old. Now he is 15-year-old. He doesn't even bother. Now will you keep it hidden? It's all around. But it makes no difference. Why? Because the child has no craving anymore for it. So ask yourself the question. The object is a problem because the object is a problem, or you are a problem? When you have a craving, the object must be kept hidden. When you don't have a craving, let it be there. It makes no difference to me. Think. So Asanga Shastra, the moment you are detached, the moment you withdraw yourself unto yourself, suddenly the tree of the samsara need not be cut. Nothing needs to be touched, no violence. Or else you shall listen to the language, Asanga Satrena, Drudena Chitva, by cutting down the whole creation. Cutting down the creation. Are you getting that? When you have Sangha, when you have an attraction, object appears to be bondage. When you don't have the attraction, is it necessary to remove the object? Like that husband and wife, the saintly couple, they talk to them, Maharashtra, they talk about the story of, forget the name. The husband and wife, both, a very saintly couple, great, realized, awakened teachers, both are walking. The husband was walking ahead, wife was following. The husband sees a gold nugget on the road. Then the husband says, oh my God, my wife is following me. She is a woman. If she sees this gold and the ornament, she will definitely go crazy for it. So she bent down, covered it up with the dust. They covered it up with the dust. She didn't pick it up and take it. They covered it with the dust. Then the wife got up. Then the wife said, how come, what were you doing there? He's not a manipulative husband to tell lies. He said, look, I was coming, I saw there is a piece of gold there. You are following me. So I thought, being a lady, you will have the attraction towards the gold, you will pick up. Now what a headache again to keep it going, and God knows somebody will steal it, and unnecessary anxiety. So I was covering that, I covered it up with this sand. Then she smiled and says, why are you covering the sand with sand? That gold is not gold, there is another piece of clay. She has no value for it. So what is the need of hiding it? Are you getting that? Samsara is no samsara, bondage is no bondage, creation is not a bondage when you have no dependence. So what shall you deal with? Shall I deal with my dependence, my ignorance, or shall I deal with the world? In the name of religion, practices, people are all dealing with the world. Gold should not be there, temptation should not be there. You must remain far away from Kamini, woman, main, gold, diamond, everything. You must remain far away. Fix up yourself? No. Because if you say fix up yourself, the fellow will run away. Ultimately, one day, you have to take your responsibility. No God is going to rescue you. No Guru can ever make you free unless you decide to be free here and now. There are thousands of people fighting the battle. Only Arjuna learned. Why? He wanted it. Krishna is there. Are you getting that point, please? The teacher is there. How many people learning? The person who is interested. So asanga sastrena, when you see that, when you do that asanga, thereafter tatap padam tat parimargitabhyam, may you find yourself yasmin gatana nivartanti bhuya, going where there is no return. Tameva chadyam purusham prapadye. So that is like a person who, in the beginning of the search, let there be conviction. Tameva adyam purusham prapadye. I surrender unto, or I look for the adyam purusham, the primordial, primeval being of the universe. The first. The first means what? The beginningless, endless existence. May I find it. And you find it in yourself as what? Where the sun never shines, moon never shines, fire doesn't light it up, going where there is no return. That is my abode. Every person sees it in himself. Okay. So going where if there is no return, in the first place, how did I come out? Bhagavan says, this is ignorance. Why? The sense of separation, apparent travel away from the reality and back to the reality is because of the ignorance. Why? Because mamaiva amsa jivaloke jivabhuta sanatana. Mamaiva sanatana amsa. Hey Arjuna, everybody, everything in this universe is an inseparable part of me. Just like your body, you shall say, every cell in my body is inseparable from me. Whether it's beginning from my toe to the top, my heart, my kidney, my pancreas, the blood cells, the kidney cells, it doesn't matter. Everything is an inseparable part of me. Now, if you think in terms of macrocosm, Samasti, Virat, Hiranyagarbha, Ishvara, where the creation and the creator, one and the same. Everything has an inseparable part. Nothing stands apart from this creation. Totality, Ishvara. Sanatana jivans, eternally, sadaeva nutana. That is why Sanatana dharma is not a Hindu dharma. Sanatana dharma. It doesn't make you a Hindu. Do you understand the point? How, where this beauty has gone, the wealth is hidden. Such culture. Just because one person has taken an identity, I'm follower of this God, that God, that God, therefore this is Hindu. But the name doesn't exist in the whole scripture. Hindu, the word, everybody say Hinduism, Hinduism, Hinduism. But the Hindu, the word, doesn't exist in any scripture anywhere. They say it started with the Persians. That also God knows whether it's right or wrong. But the fact is Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana, who is Sanatana? You are Sanatana. So here is a dharma which is based on you. You are the source. That is why nobody can destroy it. How many people? To destroy Sanatana dharma, you must destroy all the 5 billion people. Which everybody is Sanatana. Are you getting that point? Everybody is Sanatana. Everybody is eternally fresh. Who you are, as your nature, is not dependent on a particular god or a sage or a monk or nothing. That is happening. Now in the Sanatana tradition, people forgetting it, now they are imitating the false stuff. Naming something, creating divisions in the individual tradition. Different gurus, different cults, different gods, different cults. At least previously there are Shanmatas. Saiva, Vaishnava, Kaumara, Ganapatya, Saura, Sakta, Sun worshippers, Shakti worshippers, Shiva worshippers, Vishnu worshippers, Ganapati, Ganesha worshippers, Murugan worshippers, Shanmata. Now that has gone. Now every guru has a follower. What a division. Sanatana. Sanatana answer, eternally a part of it. Then what happened? Why did he feel himself separated? That is where comes anadi avidya, ignorance of yourself. Ask yourself the question, who you are. Not knowing myself who I am, when I identify myself with the body, separate myself from the universe. But because you separate yourself from the universe, that does not mean you are separated. Like, listen carefully, like just because you have drawn a line, that does not mean the world ceases to be world. Understand? Just because you have drawn a line, Bharat, India, Pakistan, Nepal, just because you have drawn a line, you mean to say the earth is divided? Please think of it. Just because you have an imaginary line, this is Pacific, this is Atlantic, this is Indian, one ocean. The entire body of water is one vast ocean. We have named it different, Pacific, Atlantic, Indian Ocean, Bay of Bengal, Arabian Sea. It's all one. A functional division. Just because you say this is India, you cannot deny access to the earth. Just because of our ignorance, I take this body to be myself, you cannot deny access to Ishvara. Sanatana Jivamsa. Are you getting that? It's eternally a part of it. That is where comes the need to drop that imaginary line, which comes because of the ignorance. I don't know myself. So even the one, why do I see separate? Listen, if everything is one, why do I see separate? Should you ask the question or I should ask you that question? This is all India. Why are you dividing into so many states? Should you ask God or the men? God divided this earth into so many countries. Every day one new country also is born. Now more and more people become parochial. So more countries will be born, right? It's like previously one family, huge house, 100-acre land. Father, mother, 10 children. 100-acre land or 1,000-acre land, one family. Play anywhere you like. Now they started dividing. 10 children, divide. 10 acres or 100 acres each. Then 10 children, another 5 children, another further division. So as a first generation, you are playing around in 1,000-acre land. At the 10th generation, each one has a cubicle flat. How nice. Divisions. So when you hold on to yourself, you are living in a flat of a body. Do you want the mansion, the palace of God? It's already existing. So do not own my flat, your flat, his flat. Then trespassing. Trespassing. Don't get into that. This is mine. I see. Okay. Who creates this division? Understand? Please. Functional division, you can do that. Mameva ansa jiva loki. Jiva bhuta sanatana. Imagine, it's like a very rich man coming and telling you, don't worry, you are a part of me. How do you feel? Humbled apart. God, totality, Ishvara, infinity, claims you to be an inseparable part of Him. You are one with me. You are a powerful man. I say, I like you. But the other person doesn't say that. What happens? Just think. Ishvara. Now he says, you are part of me. Now you resist. Sanatana Jiva Amsa. Everybody an inseparable part. So there is no question of ever separated from Ishvara to go back to Ishvara. Then how does it happen? Because the ignorance, and then because the ignorance, the Jiva, the Ahankar, now gets caught up in the subtle body. Manashasthani indriyani prakruti sthani karshati, akarshati. Prakruti sthani, because of the ignorance of one's own self, the awareness, the self that you are, as though caught up in this body-mind apparatus. Mana sasthani indriyani, 5 sense organs, body. Mind, your subtle body. Ignorance, causal body. In this gross, subtle, causal body apparatus, the individuality is caught. Consciousness, while expressing itself, while illumining this, because of ignorance, I forget myself and I get myself caught in this body-mind complex. Manasasthani, prakrutisthani, akarshati. Okay. How? Because of that, sariram yad abapnoti, yaccha utkramati. Etani gruhitva samyati. Ishvara, listen. You are still Ishvara. You are the consciousness, you are the truth, you are God Himself. Meaning, God means part of the totality. Now, the moment gruhitva, you identify with your sense organs, body, mind, then you are trapped in this body. Akarshati, sariram yad avapnoti, yacha utkramati. The body, holding on to that subtle body, you get into another gross body, or holding on to the subtle body, you get out of a gross body. That is how the travel begins, apparent travel begins. Individuality, who you are, Ishvara, consciousness, always remains the same. It is the individuality which is going through this transmigration. Apparently born, apparently dying. You know all that from Tattvavada classes, okay? I don't want to explain it further. The gross body doesn't travel, no transmigration. Consciousness, all pervasive. Physical body cannot travel. Consciousness, all pervasive, need not travel. In between the two, the subtle body travels from body to body. So when you identify with it, sariram avapnoti, you get a body, or utkramati, the time of death, when the body is dying, individual leaves this body. Who is doing that? God playing the fool, Ishvara. The name is given, Ishvara. That same. So, not knowing about yourself as to who you are traveling from this body to another body, getting into a body, getting out of the body. Gruhitva etani sanyati. How? Gives a beautiful example. Vayu gandhaniva asayat. Vayu gandhaniva ashayat. Like Vayu, the air, when it travels, gandhaniva ashayat. Gandhana means the fragrance. The Vayu, when it passes, it carries the fragrance of the flower. Wherever it goes, it carries that fragrance. That is why you sit down here, suddenly you get, oh, this rose is so nice. Where is the rose in the classroom? The fragrance of the rose is carried by the breeze. Now, when you are living through these bodies after bodies after bodies, you carry the fragrance of every body, every life with you, karma. That karma continues. Whichever body you live with, that fragrance, that karma continues unto the next body, until you are aware of yourself. So in reality, there is no birth and death. Because of your ignorance, it appears there to be a birth and death, and therefore transmigration. So which standpoint is correct? You say for yourself, you think for yourself. If you know who you are, no birth, no death, no transmigration, nothing. If you look from the standpoint of the water, no wave, no ocean, nothing. If you look from the standpoint of the ocean alone is existing. If you look from the standpoint of the wave, billions of waves, ocean is there, water is there. So which standpoint do you want to see? Are you getting that point, please? That is why it is so fantastic a vision. Which one you are holding on to? Your body is not a bondage if you don't get wedded to the body. Your thoughts, your sense organs is not a bondage. Why? They are part of Ishvara himself, the part of totality. Virat, Hiranyagarbha, Ishvara. Your body doesn't stand apart. Mamaiva amsa, Sanatana jiva amsa. You are eternally part. That is why when you are singing, chanting your 15th chapter, just don't sit down, stand there and close your eyes. First verse you remember, last verse you remember. No, as you chant. Mamaiva anso jiva loki, jiva bhuta sanatana. Think of yourself. This body is part of Ishvara. The food also part of Ishvara. Brahmayarpanam, Brahmahavihi, Brahmagno, Brahmanahutam, Brahmaiva tena gantavyam, Brahmakarma samadhina. I am one Brahmakarma samadhi, Brahmaiva karma tasmineva samadhi. I am one with the Brahman, the Absolute. What is eaten is Brahman. The food is Brahman, offering is Brahman, offerer is Brahman, everything is Brahman. Call it Ishvara if you like. Sanatana jiva amsa, eater and eaten, one and the same. Life and living, death and dying, one and the same. So, Sanatana jiva amsa. Not knowing, I identify myself with that. And therefore, when I identify with this body, I carry the fragrance of the body with me. Its limitations with me. When I say I am the body, then I am born, I am growing, I am diseased, I am dying, I am aging. Ayyo. You carry the fragrance of your mind with you. Whatever the thought you take yourself to be. Not only in this body, but when this body falls, transmigration continues. All because I am not aware of myself. When I know who I am, suddenly there is no transmigration, no life, no death. Only one existence. Sanatana Vartadhama Paramam Mama, my supreme abode, in and through everything. There is no death. Okay, so by ignorance you pass. How? He gives a little more description. Srotram chakshu sparsanam cha rasanam ghranameva cha adhisthaya manasyayam vishayanupasevate utkramantam sthitam vapi bhunjanam va gunannitam vimudhananupashyanti pashyanti jnana chakshusah shrotram chakshusparsanam cha rasanam ghranameva cha adhisthaya manasyayam vishayanupasevate utkramantam sthitam vapi bhunjanam va gunannitam vimudhananupashyanti pashyanti jnana chakshusah. So thus, because of ignorance, not knowing himself, now this individuality, the I thought, comes up and thinks as though it is enjoying life. Srotram, chakshu, sparsanam cha, rasanam cha, ghranameva cha, adhisthaya. Adhisthaya, taking refuge in, riding these horses of sense organs, experiencing through these sense organs, manascha, also the mind, upasevate, vishayan upasevate. This individuality, the I, as though enjoys everything. In reality, consciousness doesn't enjoy anything. Even though you are Ishvara, you are the Paramdhama, where the lights have no access, nothing can objectify. Parabrahma, Paramdhama, you are the Absolute. But forgetting, I thought has come. I enjoy. Through what? Through sense organs. See the, please see that. 100 times I have told you, so many times. I hope you see it clearly. Look two things now. Huh? See now. Please see. This flower. Right? This flower. This flower has no intention of being enjoyed. This flower has a fragrance. Neither it enjoys the fragrance, nor it waiting to be enjoyed. It has no sense of individuality. Are you getting that point? Very clear, eh? Right. Now, suppose I am an animal. This body, this is an animal. No individuality. Passing. Just passing. The animal feels good. Nice. Animal passes. Animal passes. I am a human being. I like it. Are you getting that point, please? If this body is an animal, without an individuality, like a child, this body crawls by. Just goes. It doesn't wait because another smell. The nose doesn't feel, I smell. Does it nose feel? But the moment you have individuality, what happens? You smell it, Then I thought comes up, ah, lovely. Passes a judgment, very nice. I smell, oh, this is nice. What is that? I want it. When you are just passing by the smell, you are conscious of the smell, conscious of the thought of the smell. The consciousness is not involved, sense organs is not involved, the flower is not involved. The whole creation as it is, beautiful, begins the individuality. I. So nice. I want it. So I give it. Not only I get it, but I create a garden. Think, I create a garden. Then I pass it on to my children. The children also own the garden. The Andha Parampara, the tradition of ignorance is handed over and continues. My house, I enjoyed, you must enjoy. I did this, you must do this. I have the money, you should have the money. Oh God. Continues. It becomes a massive, confusing dream of humanity. There you want to make a sense out of it. Yes, you can make a beautiful gardens, beautiful palaces, beautiful thing, but that shall be your prison. Because you don't know how to enjoy it. Not that therefore you should not do it. Do it, but then know about yourself so that you are not a prisoner of the house. You are not a prisoner of your thought, prisoner of the sensation, prisoner of beauty, prisoner of ugliness, prisoner of life or death. Understand yourself. Manasya adhisthaya, understand, manasya adhisthaya, srutram chakshu sparsam, rasanam ghranam cha adhisthaya, presiding over the sense organs and the mind, vishayan upasevate, ahankar, the I, which are the source in absolute, which is part of Ishvara, forgets the divinity, forgets the infinity, now loses itself in a sensation of sound, touch, taste, smell. God playing the beast. Infinity playing finite. Liberated playing bound. That is why the teacher doesn't cry for the student. Arjuna was miserable. Krishna was smiling. The Guru, if he is aware of the thing, no more joins the wailing and the groaning and the moaning of the ignorant students. Let the fellow groan. Why? I was also doing the same thing sometimes back. Understand? You will wake up. Adhisthaya, are you getting that? Presiding over this body-mind apparatus. The I falls into it. I like this. Without that, I like, I don't like. Where is the bondage? Think. The sense organs have no demand. Neither the objects need to be demanded. The objects don't need to be demanded, to be desired, to be enjoyed. That's why human being is the biggest problem for each other. The flower doesn't promise you happiness. A man or woman promises you. Himself miserable, herself stupid, but always thinks, I can give you happiness. I see. Miserable fellow can give only misery. You can't give happiness. How does the ignorance man share wisdom? That is why people collect nuggets. Ignorance people throw one occasional nugget. If you are a wise man, every speech you give, every word you speak is a nugget. How much can you collect? It's like in a diamond mountain. Every piece is diamond. How much can you collect? But in a desert, if there is one piece of diamond, oh, collector's item. When you are the wise person itself, wisdom, every perception, every statement is wisdom. How much can you collect? Understand? Vishayan upasevate. Adhisthaya manaschayam vishayan upasevate. By ignorance, it does that. Therefore, when you know yourself, then what happens? Utkramantam sthitam vapi bhunjanam va gunannitam vimudaha nanupashyanti pashyanti jnanachakshushaha. Jnanachakshushaha pashyanti. The people, jnanachakshusha, one who has the eye of wisdom, who is now aware of himself, he recognizes his nature when? Utkramantam, while giving up this body. Sthitam vapi, living with this body. Bhunjanam va, while experiencing sensations. Seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, smelling, eating, doing every activity. Bhunjanam va gunanitam or gunanitam. With all these sukha dukkha. Mokshakyehi gunaihi anvitam. Gunanitam, that all this whole world full of sukha, dukkha, moksha, bondage, liberation. Apparently everything is there. See, so nice. Even, now smell. Sukham, dukkham, comfort, discomfort, which is natural in this universe. Enjoying it, jnanachakshaha, the wise man, absolutely free. Vimudaha na anupashyanti. Vimudaha na anupashyanti. Mudha, mohagrasta, deluded, ignorant. Vimudha, visheshena mudha. Fully, totally. Completely unaware of himself, na anupashyanti. Therefore they think they are living, they are dying, they are enjoying, they are suffering. The huge roller coaster ride of life. Now up, now down. Now in a depth, now something floating. Now breathing, now breathless. Average person's life is so painful. All because of ignorance. Whereas jnana chakshusha pashyanti. Why some people jnana chakshusha? Why the other people are not jnana chakshusha? Because you saw the verse before. Who shall see it? Nirmana moha jita sanga dosa adhyatma nitya vinivritta kama. Nirmana moha. That person who has no mana, no moha, no sense of identity, no delusion. Sanga dosa jita. No more lost in the sensation or in an object, or lost in an identity. Interested in himself. Vinivritta kama, free from desires. Anupashyanti. They see the truth in themselves. The other person is not tired still. Still he want to enjoy. Are you getting that? If a person thinks drowning in the water is enjoyment, now who can help him? Think. You're drowning in the water, you consider it as an enjoyment. Both the hands you are packing, stomach is paining, body is paining, nauseating, but you think that's the greatest pleasure of food. Now what can you do? Huh? Who can help you? You get into this literally suffocating water of relationship. Totally incapable of knowing how to relate because you don't know who you are. Therefore, how are you going to relate? Can a drunken man relate? Think. Can a drunken man relate? As you are walking on the road, a drunken man comes towards you. Hello, how are you? Drags you. How do you like it? And what do you say? Get out of me. Why do you do that? You're drunk. Stupid. Suppose he's sensible and he looks at you, you may give a second look, okay, what do you want? But suppose the fellow is drunk, ignorant person means inebriated, drunken with identities, drunk with identities. I'm a rich man, so you think everybody will be attracted towards you. I'm a young man, you think everybody will be attracted towards you. I'm a powerful person, everybody will not be attracted towards you. Why? Those who have value for riches, they will come for your riches. The value for money, they will come for your money. The value for power, they will come for your power. By chance some fellow wants a little bit from your body, they come for that body. Suppose somebody comes for your gunas, then they will go for that. They don't care what you have or don't have. Different people. But lost in this suffocating relationship, what the person says? Enjoying. Enjoying what? That is why for some time you pretend to enjoy, then you run away from the relationship. Asyo, cannot. Suffocating. Understand? So the day you divorce, how do you feel? Today, Swamiji, I started living. From today, now I am breathing. I'm a free man. I'm breathing now. What happened to you yesterday? I was dying. Right. Think first. Divorce from what? Only a person? You can get divorced from your car. You are divorced from listen carefully, you can be divorced from a person, you can be divorced from a job, you can be divorced from a thing, but you are still not divorced from an idea. Suffocating. Ultimately, listen carefully, this divorcing is a beautiful word. I, the individuality, married to the creation. Now it must divorce from everything. Sabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha. Then divorce itself from the I thought itself. That is the ultimate divorce. Once you divorce yourself from this wife of a ahankar, husband of a ahankar, call it as you like, you are really free. Divorcing yourself from a person or an object is still not freedom, because you are married to the ahankar. The original divorce is separating yourself from ahankar. That is separating yourself from the ignorance because of which ahankar seems to be real. That is why avidya, you must divorce Miss Avidya or Mr. Avidya. You as you like, Mr. Ignorance. Until that, you have no respite. Okay? Vimudaha nanupashyanti. Deluded ones will not say. Pashyanti jnana chakshusha. How? Read. Why they don't see? Yatanto yoginaschainam Pasyantyatmanyavasthitam Yatantopyakrutatmanah Nainam pasyantyachetasah Yatanto yoginaschainam Pasyantyatmanyavasthitam Yatantopyakrutatmanah Nainam pasyantyachetasah Yatantaha yoginah enam atmani avasthitam pashyanti. Yatantaha yoginah, yogis, those who are prayatnam kurvantah, yogi samahita chetas. Yogi means here samahita cheta. Yogi. With a mind which is nirmana moha, jita sanga dosa, no delusion, no pride, no arrogance, no dependence of any kind. With that type of thing, such a person, yogi, yatanta, striving, learning, sabda, sravana, manana, nitidhyasana, by listening, contemplating, atmani avasthitam, atmanam pashyanti, abiding in themselves, see their nature. They see it, who they are. It's easier to see because you have never moved away from yourself. In fact, you are always there. At no time infinite has become finite. At no time immortal has become mortal. Mortal body, immortal self. Changing mind, changeless self. Both are simultaneously existing. Not knowing about the changeless self, I am identifying with the changing mind. Now, tired of the changing mind, I return to the changing self. That is why it is possible. But suppose you are really lost sight of yourself, finite, infinite has become finite, no hope. Therefore, there is no question of your becoming finite. When Sanatana Jivamsa, I am eternally a part of the infinity or the totality, there is no question of my losing myself to return. Apparently lost, apparently gaining, apparently away from home, apparently returning, like a drunken fellow. The fellow is drunk. He stays inside the house, but he is fully drunk. And he is telling, take me home. You know, these drunken fellows are little nuts. You know, the one idea comes, that is the idea, they will repeat it for no reason. Once they repeat, they will go on repeating. Like people take bhang. You know, in Orissa, this is very good. They do that in Puri. Oh, this much of they will take it. And that time they talk pure nonsense. Pure nonsense. As childhood, sometimes in our village, in the early festivities, and some of the elders, only I remember one or two elders, they were, oh boy, they will be taking it. Some of them are adventurous, they take it. And we as children, I remember 5, 6, we will be sitting down there and fighting, you know, pulling each other, laughing at each other, poking each other. Why? Wait. Now his tantrums will begin. He starts talking nonsense. Pure nonsense will be talking, as though he is the king of the village. He is the useless, waste of a fellow. But when he is under the spell of the bhang and the, what is that, something intoxicating thing, he shall talk as though he is the king of the village. Bring him here. Call that man here. Who is this fellow? Everybody laughs, 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 because he is joker. You go into the spell of it. When you are intoxicated, whatever you say, who cares to listen to it? Same way, when you lose yourself in that, totally under the spell of the ignorance, you completely lose sight of yourself. And you start talking anything you like. You take yourself to be all that you are not. I am the body, I am the thing, everything you take. Yogina, such people, completely lost in that, he starts talking everything that he is not. Therefore, he does not see anything. Under the spell of ignorance, you are intoxicated. How seriously you can take him? I am the body, I am rich, I am poor. Think. That is why to an ignorant person you cannot take seriously. The whole world, everybody is drunk. Therefore, drunkenness seems to be normal. Where the abnormalcy becomes normal, normal fellow become abnormal. Are you getting that point, please? Suppose in a place, everybody is bald. The fellow who has a hair will be abnormal. Having hair is normal. Having hair is normal. But suppose by mistake somewhere in one country where every fellow is bald. Then what will you think? A funny fellow has got full head of hair. Maybe that is how he should be. But because everybody is bald, therefore the fellow with hair is funny. Everybody is ignorant, the wise man is funny. Everybody is dealing with from the standpoint of, you are dealing with this, you are, exchanging the notes. I am rich man, so in relation to riches, language of riches. I am poor man, I am rich man, I am educated, I am uneducated, I am handsome, I am ugly. Rubbish, drunken behavior. Talking nonsense. How much seriously you can take these people? So when somebody says, you are not taking me seriously, of course not. You are ignorant. How can I take you seriously? Because just a matter of time your mood will change. Just a matter of time. Oh, I have got millions. I don't take you seriously. Why? After a few days, I lost all my millions. Then what happened? How can I take you seriously? Oh, I am so wonderful, I am so handsome. After 5 years, what happened? The tooth is gone. Then what happened? Oh, Miss Universe, 1930. Will you like to marry? Anybody? Anybody wants to marry Miss Universe, 1940? Mr. Universe, 1920. Anybody want to marry? Mr. Universe? Mr. Universe, no doubt, but 1950 and 1920. Let him be Mr. Universe. Put his statue. I'm not interested. Why? You know what it is. So, how much how much you can be taken seriously? So, yogina, yata chitta, one who tired of pleasures, tired of everything. Understand the limitations of everything. Now he really wants to breathe free. God knows himself. Yatantopi akrutatmanaha nainam pashyanti achetasa. How beautiful language by Arjuna. Achetasa, mindless people. Akrutatmanaha, asanskruta antakarana. Person full of confusion. Yatantopi, even if they strive, na pashyanti, they don't see. Mindless. They don't know what they want in life. They don't know who they are. They are not interested in this. How can you make this person happy? Because he has his money, he thinks he can rule the world. He has his power of the position, he thinks he can rule the world. He has his youth, he thinks he or she can rule the world. What can you talk to those intoxicated, inebriated people? And such people are in the helms of affair today, everywhere. The ignorance ruling the ignorant. More sophisticated ignorant person ruling the less sophisticated ignorant person. How do you think the world will come to ever its senses? Person must be aware of himself. Then what will happen? Taddhama paramamam. You shall be free. So everybody remember the beautiful state. Mameva amsa. Jiva loke, jiva bhuta sana. So everybody, sanatana jiva amsa. Everybody is an eternally ever fresh part of the totality. There is no question of anybody being left out or separated. Your ignorance leaves you apart. When you are aware of yourself, one with Ishvara, nothing other than it. Next 3-4 verses, we shall see in the 11 o'clock class. All these verses we shall see. Bhagavan talks about how he is indeed everywhere. So at no time you can ever escape the inescapable touch of divinity, oneness, infinity, immortality. You are one with it. Close your eyes.